Did you ever wonder what would happen if Megumi had Toji's power? How would this change have an impact on his character? Would he still choose the path to become a Jujutsu Sorcerer, or would he ultimately opt for a life as an ordinary citizen? To be honest, my initial take on Megumi was, is this guy lost? Did he accidentally stumble onto the set of a Jujutsu Kaisen? Because forget curses, he looks more like he's searching for love. But funny thoughts aside, how's any of this gonna happen? Toji's power basically arises due to his Heavenly Restriction Pact. It is a type of curse restriction that affects someone's cursed energy in exchange for limitations or improvements in their body. In Toji's case, the lack of cursed energy resulted in his 5 senses being heightened to their absolute peak. Not to mention, he also possesses a superhuman degree of physical strength. With this, you must know that Toji is the only case where Heavenly Pact has erased the person's cursed energy completely. So, what would happen if Megumi were to inherit this pact? Well, if we are talking about Megumi receiving this heavenly restricted body from the time of his birth, then he simply won't have access to any cursed energy from the start. Hence, he'll be living his life like an ordinary student, completely devoid of the fact that curses exist, just like Yuji was at the start of the series. Now, in what ways will the story be different as a result of this change? First of all, now that Megumi has no cursed energy, Toji won't try to sell him to the Zenin clan. You see, despite the common knowledge that curse technique manifests around the age of 5 or 6, it is possible to see traces of cursed energy in an individual even before that time. This won't apply to Megumi given his current body. Toji will notice the lack of cursed energy within Megumi. And what will he do? Well, he often acts like a dad who doesn't care about his son at all. But, as we have seen in the Shibuya arc, he was happy that Megumi was able to lead a good life without him. So it is safe to say that he will want him to live a safe and quiet life without even knowing him or any other Jujutsu Sorcerer. That's why he also won't tell Gojo about Megumi, therefore he won't be coming to take him in. This is because Toji knew their presence would have a negative impact on his growth. In short, he will basically still dip him, but won't sell him this time. So now, how will Megumi's life proceed from here on? To start with, he will focus on his academics without realizing that he is different from normal humans. There will be moments when he will outperform others by a margin, like in martial arts and sports, but it would strike as normal for him. His personality will overall remain the same. One factor contributing to this will be Sumiki. With their presence by his side, he will remain uptight and pure. He will work hard so Sumiki doesn't have to go through any trouble. But the real issue will arrive when Sumiki will still fall into a coma. In her 3rd year at Saitama Urami East Junior High, she and 2 of her classmates went to Yasuhachi Bridge one night where Sumiki was cursed, causing her to get bedridden. This would be the first time Megumi would encounter a curse. Without knowing much at first, he would think of it as a disease, but slowly, with the help of his heightened senses, he'll be able to discover that this isn't a disease. Instead, it's something more akin to a curse. So, what will Megumi's response be to all of this? Knowing him, he will search around everywhere trying to find clues about this curse thing. He will contact a lot of people, and there was a chance he might actually find someone who is a curse user. This curse user would recognize his strength, and depending on if he is a good guy or not, he will help Megumi out. He will explain all about cursed energy to him, and maybe also lend him a cursed tool. Which, judging by Megumi's personality, his go-to cursed tool would be a single-edged sword. Under this guy's guidance, Megumi sets out to take care of the curses at Yasuhachi Bridge. There, he will first face the Mole Curse. By facing him, he will come to realize the presence of cursed energy. This will also awaken his potential, and therefore he will be able to readily take care of the Mole Curse by using the cursed tool that was lent to him. After taking care of it, he will move on to explore another curse. When he comes across a Finger Bearer, he will face him in a really difficult battle. The pure energy outburst from the Finger Bearer would leave Megumi astonished. He would be cornered to such an extent that he would have no choice but to escape. After facing the Finger Bearer, Megumi will come to realize 2 things. What are those, you ask? The first thing he will realize is that the Finger Bearer might be the cause of Sumiki's condition, followed by the realization of his full potential. He knows that if he gets stronger, he can easily exercise the Finger Bearer curse without any difficulties. This will be his main goal for the future. Now that Megumi isn't present in the Jujutsu High, how do you think the story will be altered for our other main characters? I'd bet they'd be in a pinch without our suicidal curse tamer by their side. Now what if the curse user Megumi was working with was Toji? Well, this scenario isn't entirely impossible, but to achieve this, we'll have to restart the scenario. Let's go back to Megumi's childhood when Toji was still present. Now imagine if Toji found out that Megumi has the same exact condition as him. The reason he left him before was due to the lack of cursed energy, but this time, after realizing that Megumi also has the heavenly restricted body, there was a chance he might not fully dip him. Instead, he might think about training him under his own guidance once he has grown a bit older. However, this will be counterproductive to his initial intentions of staying away from Megumi so he could have a better life. There will come a time when he will have to teach him about his condition. So, how will Megumi's life be if this actually happens? Firstly, he will always be spied on by either Toji or someone he knows. Toji wouldn't want anyone to get his hands on Megumi or even find out about his condition. Hence, he will erase any possible threats that might come his way. Now, the real issue is that, by the time Megumi graduated from high school, Toji would have been killed by Gojo. To counter this, let's just say that Toji never took up the offer to kill the Star Vessel or Gojo. Now, after Megumi had graduated high school and he would have gotten better at exercising curses, that's when Toji would have returned for him. Seeing Tsumiki's condition and that Megumi is living a life devoid of any relationship, he will try to take Megumi under his guidance. But would Megumi just allow him to come back into his life just like that? Well, now here's the real event of this scenario. You see, Megumi hasn't seen Toji since he was a newborn. He faintly remembers him anymore. And after all these years, he might have just forgotten everything about him. So, after seeing him for the first time in forever, he won't recognize him. He will think that Toji is just another curse user, living his life in the same condition that he himself is in. Once Toji introduces himself, that's when we will see the real reaction from Megumi. He will be mad at him for leaving him, and in turn, there was a chance he might not accept Toji's help. Toji will explain that he left them because of his unstable lifestyle and twisted goals, but Megumi won't be accepting any excuses. The deal will go off real quick as soon as Megumi comes to realize that Toji is doing all this for his own gain. He will decline the offer and simply leave the place. So, how will Toji react to all of this? Well, if it was someone else, then Toji wouldn't have cared at all. In fact, it would have been a bother for him to even teach someone. But coming from his son, this would have made Toji realize a lot of things. He would have known his mistakes. You see, the only person that Toji actually loved was Megumi's mother, and these words coming from their son would really affect him. Nevertheless, Megumi will continue to live his life trying to find ways to cure Tsumiki, while Toji will rethink his choices in this new life that was given to him in this scenario. But what if Megumi was still taken in by Gojo? By the time of the Hidden Inventory arc, Megumi still hadn't accessed cursed energy. So, if the Toji vs Gojo battle still took place, and Toji did tell Gojo about Megumi just as intended, then he will still be taken into Jujutsu High. Of course, the storyline, fights, and interactions are set to change with the alteration of Megumi's powers. But if we look at this scenario from Jujutsu Kaisen's own point of view, then there won't be any major plot changes up to the Shibuya arc. So how would have things played out afterward? The gang will be able to go through the Cursed Child all the way to the Kyoto Goodwill event arc without any changes. The battles might have gone differently, but the outcomes would have remained the same. The only major plot change would have been regarding Sukuna. You see, the reason he was obsessed with Megumi was because he had the 10 Shadows technique. Now that this ability doesn't exist and Sukuna has basically lost his ideal vessel, what comes next? The Shibuya arc will be even more of a bloodbath this time. Although Megumi didn't do anything much in the battles that took place, his 10 Shadows curse technique was very significant in all the major fights that took place. Now that they aren't present, Megumi will be a standalone sorcerer just like Maki. The stakes will be similar to the original scenario. All the already intended fights will take place. Megumi, with his heavenly restricted body, will be more of a use in battle against Dagon. He will be there to handle him for a little amount of time before Toji appears on the battlefield. Toji will showcase his strength to Megumi, using the same heavenly restriction pact that he has. After defeating Dagon, Toji will again pull Megumi away from the rest of the crowd. Now, will the way he and Megumi interact change? Well, not really. In this specific timeline, Toji did not have any other meeting with Megumi, so this encounter will remain the same. Toji will just be more intrigued to know how much Megumi has developed and what path he has chosen. After finding out about this, he stabs himself and passes out, just like in the original timeline. Now, after Toji is gone, Megumi will be assaulted by Shigemi, but unlike in the original story, Megumi with his heightened senses will be able to sense him out and easily take care of him. This time around, Megumi wouldn't have been overpowered to such an extent that he would have used Maharaga. The story from here on would have proceeded in a rather peculiar way. Most of the outcomes would have stayed the same. Our favorite villain Sukuna would have to cope with Yuji's body because he couldn't find a new vessel. The final battle would have been between Gojo and Yuji. And if you want to see how that would have turned out, I've made a video on that. You can check it out right here. Well, that's it for the what if theory if Megumi had Toji's powers. If you want to switch things up, why don't you check out this video of what if Kokushibo learned sun breathing? What are you waiting for? Click it!